YouTubers. Hey, YouTubers. And I should go live on this thing too. God dang, there's so many things, right? There's so, but what? I, I love y'all. Hold on. Just patience. What's this thing? Look at what I got. Look at what I got. I'm always trying to, as a filmmaker, I'm always looking for new things, these thingies, and God, they're all annoying. I like when you go live with your mom. I will go live with my mom. She's up north, and I will start doing that again. That's going to be my next, like, because all August we did this workbook, and where am I going to put this? Hey, I mean, seriously, where am I going to put this thing? Where? Why? I mean, I got married to not have to deal with all this stuff. When you get married for tech help. All right, hold on. I'm traveling. I'm at my friend's house that I've known for years upon years upon years. Let me see here. Hold on, 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 hold on. Look at, God dang, it's like, if you could see what I have set up here, it's so funny. Oh God. This is like life too, like healing, like where you have to just make it work. Sometimes you just got to make it work. This is in the way of this other thing. Why are you in the way? Because you're in the way. Sorry. And my mother is going to start Regenerate. I'm so excited, which I will talk about in just one second. But right now, I'm like, how do you fix that thing? God, I don't even know. How? Oh, there we go. Hold on. There's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way, y'all. Hey, sounds like you're saying, hold on. That's so funny. Hold on. Hold the door. Hold the door. Hold on. Hold on. Hold the door. Hold the door. Hey, Jackie. You might not want to be there when my mom starts Regenerate. That's really funny. Okay, I am going to press record on this guy over here. I apologize, but bear with me. Sometimes when you're in your healing journey, it's a little funky. Sometimes you just got to make it work, y'all. You just got to make it work. I got 3 cameras going on. This is why I got married. Seriously, I'm divorced now. God dang, thank God. I pray to Jesus. Why? Okay, now I'm going to move this guy. I love your energy too. Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to see your comments on TikTok. I got you. Hey, y'all. Hey, on YouTube. And I got this for backup. Okay, ready? Good morning. It's Monday. We have been talking about this workbook for all month. This is our last week. And to sum it up, trauma is like getting pierced with a sword. So whatever you went through, and I'll go through your comments because people that are on Regenerate, oh my gosh, I will circle back. So hold that thought because it's changing lives forever already. I'm so excited. And so, but first, I was hoping to start Regenerate once he opens up where you put the credit card. It's on. It's up there. So if you go to my link in bio, after let's do this discussion, and then you can go to his link in bio on the one in Nashville, and also on my site and or my link in bio, the link tree. I've put it top. I mean, it's his site, but I'm going to support that because wow, I just like it's here. For those of you who don't know, haven't heard me talk about it. This is liquid. It ain't liquid, Angela. It's powder. This is powder gold. Just side note. I know I'm going to repeat myself a lot about this kind of stuff. Healing and this. So this right here is Regenerate. It is a powder gold. It is a combination of GABA and magnesiums and all kinds of supplements that it's his concoction to get GABA in your brain fast. For me, it happened in about 16 minutes. And wow, I am different. Hey, morning, Jay. This right here, I'm like actually healing your brain and doing all of the mindset things and the meditations and mindset and all the stuff that we're doing in conjunction with actually healing your actual brain, like actually putting GABA in your brain is outstanding. Like this actually heals your brain. I've seen him work with alcoholics and benzodiazepine addicts, and they're off in one jar or less. And I started taking it because I'm like, you know what, that's got to have the same effect on trauma survivors. So if it's happening, if it's helping so many addicts, it has to. That's funny. Gavin messed my head up. There's always somebody. That's funny. So, but he developed this for alcoholics and benzodiazepine addicts, and I was like, it's got to have the same effect on trauma survivors. And I've now had 5 doses of this, and wow, I wow beyond wow beyond wow. So I'll go into this later because I'm going to do a whole series on this right here. But for now, this week, let's come back to the sword. Look, so trauma is like getting pierced with a sword, right? And you can live like that, like the dude Fred who was on here, like little trolls. Because imagine like your trauma, whatever you went through, you're going to be poisoned in your brain. You're going to have constant health problems. You're going to have spiritual problems. It's hard to cuddle, right? And it's hard to have, be a full, complete, joyful human. Am I right? And you can live like that for the rest of your life. My grandmother did it. You can live in denial. You're like, I'm fine. I'm just fine. I don't have all this pain. What are you talking about? I'm just absolutely fine. Right? Or you can remove it. And when you remove it, here's my, this is not my first rodeo. I've done this work for a really long time, and all the different healing techniques. I've been all over the world, tried it all. If I missed something, please invite me. And seriously, all of them boil down to what you're saying to yourself in your head. And to remove it is tears and anger. So it's like people are afraid to cry, and they're afraid to express their rage because you think that as soon as you touch that, you're going to be a Tasmanian devil of anger, or you're going to start crying and you're going to cry flood. And that's why this concept works so well, because it has an end point. It's not a clown car. It's not like some people's, like just the babies just keep popping out. Like it's a clown car. Like it's just like, oh yeah, this can deal with my trauma and it'll never end. It does have an end point, and it makes sense. Slaying the dragon. Yes, Frank. Yes, slaying the dragon. And so that's why this concept works. So you can remove it, and then you have it. And this stage we're at right now in this workbook, good morning for all of those who have stayed with me all month, which is just awesome. I love meeting new people too. And this concept works so well. So now we're on step 4, using your sword. Okay. So, hey, we all need small bottles so we can carry it cheaper. Yes, that's a good idea. That's a good idea, Jackie. I will side note. So step 4 of using your sword. So you have, and this applies to anybody if you have not caught up and you're like, what the hey is she talking about? Using your sword. So when you have come out of trauma, and pick one, most of us have been through something, you have those negative thought patterns in your head, and it's like a nonstop repeat of, hey, yeah, I hear you, of negative thought patterns, because you're doing to yourself. This is what people do. They do to themselves what the perpetrator did to them. And when you really like swallow that pill, you're like, what'd you say? What I said, stop doing to yourself what the abuser did to you. Think about that. That's like the negative thought patterns. That's not feeding yourself. That's feeding yourself too much. That's telling yourself you're a piece of crap. That's like repeating all the negative thought patterns that whoever abused you did. And that, when you stop that repeat cycle, that's your power right there. That's like removing this and then using it to cut away your negative thought patterns. A lot of people that I work with over the years, and that are my friends and like fellow, warriors, let's say, have to go to court a lot, and they have to deal with perps a lot, and they have to sometimes you got to go to Thanksgiving and sit at the table with your perp. You know what I'm saying? And this concept helps so much. And all the techniques that I've learned over the years and that I share are things you can do in your head that nobody can see you doing, because we already do so much, right? We already do so many negative things in our head and say so many horrible things. Why not just switch it around? So So in the using the sword, there's a really great ways you can um, energetically shift your life in your brain and do things that nobody can see what you're doing. One is, and we'll go to the actual page of the workbook, but I want to throw this out because a couple of you who have been watching this all month, this happened to you. So when you're faced with your perp or like something that brings you anxiety, like your anxiety is like so high, first of all, get on regenerate, and then you clear that stuff up. But you can picture your sword. You can literally picture that you have a sword in your hand. You can picture that you hold it in your hand. A lot of times you can just, if you're in a situation at work or whatever, you can grab a pin, like just something that you hold in your hand, because just the squeezing of your hand can help your neural pathways. Also, your left foot is key. Like if you're like, where's my left foot? Move your left toes. Where's your left foot right now? Where is it? I'm wiggling my left toes. Where's my left foot? That sends a little thing through you to your meridians and can help you get like more focused and get out of the anxiety. It's just like EMDR stuff. And if you can picture when you're holding a pen or something that it's your sword, right? Hey, good morning, Rondi. That'll help you be in the presence of perps or like face anxiety or go to court, and you can picture that you have your sword, right? We're on the phase, Rondi, of using your sword. You're not going to walk around with a dang plastic sword from Target. I mean, unless you're Angela Shelton, then you could just put it on your back and just be like, what's that crazy girl doing? I'm now riding a unicycle, y'all. I'll be riding a unicycle with a sword on my back. You don't have to be like me. We're all different. And the beautiful thing about this concept is you're a warrior in your world. I'm a warrior in my world. We are not, there's like, remove all competition and all judgments, because we all have something. And if I'm on my little island and you're on your island, we are helping each other by sharing ways that, hey, I got out of this. Here's an escape route, or I got past this really fast. Or like me, I'm like, y'all, yes, I have a unicycle. I'm so excited. You need my cups. What's that? And so I'm telling you about regenerate. I'm telling you about all of my things that I find that can help you expand and elevate faster. And you're inspiring me. I might find, whatever I'm being inspired by you. Balance. Yes. Well, you really need balance when you're riding a unicycle, let me tell you. But I like that. I want to put that in your head, like that you're on your island, I'm on my island. That whole like get on my island or I'm going to get on your island. No, we're humans that are, you're on your warrior path, I'm on my warrior path, whatever word resonates for you. And we're not in competition with each other. Hey, we are helping each other elevate and expand. And like, this is a total battle that we're in, right? That is life. And also, if you want to talk about the organized perpetrators who have taken over everything and for years and years and years, and it's a total manipulation. Yeah, we can talk about that. And instead of staying thwarted and like in pain, like some people, if you picture on your island, some people are like this, you're like, oh my God, I don't know how to get out of that. And some people are super far ahead of you. Some people are, living their best lives, and they don't have trauma in their lives anymore at all, or never did. And you can look ahead to them and be inspired by them as you rise. But we're all rising. It's like water. We're rising and rising collectively. It's the same. It's together. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you haven't realized it, I'm going to tell you a big aha moment. There are organized perpetrators, and they have infiltrated our food. They're poisoning our food. They're poisoning our media. They've taken over family court a long, long, long time ago. And it's organized perpetrators. I mean, it is. I'm sorry to tell you, it's not a conspiracy theory. It's a system analysis. And I'm here to tell you, there are more of us than there are of them. So the problem is, many of us have been in trauma, and you're thwarted in trauma and you're stuck in trauma. Literally, you're like, oh my God, I can't move. That's why this concept works so well. Um, so that's why this theory, this concept works so well, because it's like, yeah, you can get stuck, but you can get unstuck, and you can do the work to learn warrior work. I mean, I'm moving into, like, I'm going to start actually showing you how to actually do sword work. I mean, that's where I'm going, to like prep warriors. Not that we're going to be in an actual sword battle, maybe spiritually, but to give you the feeling and the resonance of warriorship outside of survivors. So you move from victim to survivor to warrior to reformer. And so that we collectively, there's more of us than there are of them. If you just think of your abuser or your perpetrator, whoever effed you up, they had many victims, right? You weren't the only one. Like my dad, my story is my dad was the creepy in the van down by the river, and he owned an arcade. He was the candy man. He was he's the bad guy that my superhero character, that I'm a superhero for little kids, is saving kids from. It's my own freaking dad. And so that's also why I am so dedicated, and also that's why I'm a goofball too, because I'm going to just be up myself, and I'm going to be more and more of myself, because I'm like, I love me some me. And that took a long time to get there. And that's why I lay pathways, and I share aha moments and escape routes, so that others can find their pathway also. And I'm very aware of people that are way ahead of me. So I'm watching the people that are way ahead of me. I'm like, hey, what'd you do? How'd you get over that hurdle? Like this, like I find out about things like this, so that I can share it with you, so that we share it with people who are stuck. But you don't go back and put the people that are stuck on your island. It's just like, you don't go save the drowning person without a life jacket. Like, you know what I mean? Because you'll die. And so you're like, picture it like we're on islands, or say if you see it like you're on a boat and you've gotten out of the hell, you can put a fishing line out, and with some gold nuggets and some light at the end, but you don't go back into the hell. Because I've done that too. I mean, I've actually been in the position where we've tried to save people out of human, and I actually have had the straight up devil show up at my house. I have had threats. So I've seen the super super dark side, and I've also seen the super miracles. And that's also why I am very funny. Like I raised my hand. I'm like, I will be the funny one. I'll bring the fun and the funny in the face of total fear. So that's where I raised my hand. She's like the cute funny one. I'll do it. And I also get in total trouble. I've been fired. I have a cooking show called Stirring Up Trouble. All of these things are for a reason. I know that when you come onto my world and you might like, what is she doing? I'm doing a kaleidoscope is what I'm doing. It's like a fireworks display in reverse, and it all goes down to one prick. So that's why I'm doing this, is so that it is a fireworks display, a kaleidoscope, like a total burst of aha moments and escape routes and pathways out of pain, so that we have all of the many, many more people than perpetrated. Like, so that we have the majority of people actually wake up, and not the whole woke thing, but like actually wake up and heal their stuff, so that we can take our lives back from the organized perpetrators. You feel me? You agreed? Okay, you right. So on this stage, when you've removed it, and you can go back, I'm putting all this stuff for free on my app and on my YouTube, for the people who are laying down on the ground, who have, if you don't have any dollar at all and you're in trauma, I refuse to let that be a reason that you can't find healing. Because I was raised in poverty, and I've been there on the floor, and I just won't do that. And I see how other people do that. Like, they lock you out. If you don't have your $2,000 to get to the next level, you can't find out nothing. Listen, I ain't going to do that. I'm not going to do that. That's not me. So I might be wacky and crazy and kind of all over the place, but my all over the place is intentional. Okay. So so that it is all over the place, so that I am blasted out all over the place. I have in many ways not even begun, you know? So that I just wanted to tell you that I know that it's like a lot. That, try dating me. Shit. I mean, you're like, whoa. I mean, what is this a circus? Yes, it is. It's a circus. It's a unicycle too, and swords and dancing, right? Because all of it, every single thing I do has the intention and the foundation of providing joy in the face of fear so that we can live happily ever after, no matter what we went through. You understand? All right, great. So this page, 81. Look at, we've done it all week, all month. I love y'all. What does the warrior within you want to do in the world? Sir, you're my new favorite person. I love you too. Hey, Mike. And man, thank you for being a dude who says that. I am very supportive of men. What does the warrior within you want to do in the world? Ask yourself that. What does because many times, especially when we were raised by wolves, you don't get to ask that question because it's more like, how are you going to survive this day? Not like, what does the warrior within you do? So like, this is a great meditation. This is a great, like, actual, like, some prayer work with yourself. What is the you know you to be? The you wish you were? The you've always wanted to do? What does that person want to do in the world? And that's also like going back to your inner child. And it's all semantics, right? It depends on which healing technique you're using. If like you could, it's like in the 12 steps, they talk about higher power, and then other places they talk about God. And then I love me some Jesus personally, but I'm not going to ever like put that down your throat. It's like, I'm talking to the warrior within you. And if the word warrior freaks you the hell out, because you're like, that seems so violent. I'm like, okay, so what does the connected you really want to do in your life? Think about it. This is raw milk, y'all, straight from the cow. I don't drink pasteurized stuff. I don't eat food from the grocery store. Yay. So what does the warrior in you want to do? Me, if you asked me that back in the day, long time ago, it would be to make movies, right? And then, okay, so I made some movies. So write a letter to the warrior within you. Thank yourself for waiting for so long. Thank yourself for waiting to move through your pain. Let yourself know that you're going to allow yourself to play now. I just got goosebumps. So, and I personally, with the whole self-love and self-care, and do the Post-its on your mirror in your bathroom of like, you're pretty, have a good day today, you're special. Or that does not resonate with me. The whole like, write a letter to yourself. I personally, I'm like, oh, bro, that's when my eyes are going to roll back in my head and I'm probably going to crawl out the window. That's why my social media says Angela Shelton 007, because I do stuff like that. Like I'm like, I'm out. Like, I can't tell you, I have so many stories about Hollywood and weirdo Hollywood, and I have actually escaped out of places. They're like, where's Angela? I'm like, I climbed out of that house in Malibu and I'm on the beach. I'm out of here. Y'all are crazy. So stuff like that, like write a letter to yourself. It seems so like, oh my God, we're just gonna like write letters to ourselves. But I'm telling you, it does actually work. I'm telling myself that, like, because I'm like, listen, shut your face, shut your judgments on yourself, and write your. So, what is it? Miracles that kept it. It's the miracles that kept us out here. Yeah, seriously, girl, I'm telling you. So, when you write a letter to yourself, it's like journaling, right? So, if you're writing a letter, like pretend you're the you know you to be, and write a letter to yourself. Many times, it's a great exercise to do it in your non-dominant hand, because it will access subconsciously things that you didn't necessarily know that you were listening to. For me personally, I was like, okay, what do you want to do in the world? Mine was a fashion line. Who knew? I was like, say what? What'd you say? Like, I have a whole, it's kind of like what I have on right now. Just kidding. This is a brace, by the way. I like to be handled. Angela, this is not that show. That's on your other site. Shut your face. Behave. So the warrior within me was, I have a fashion line. that I've always wanted to put together, a utilitarian fashion line that is the dress that you can also take off and use to climb the hell out of the building. I mean, that's my truth right there. And I, well, I was, and of course, I'm like, how are you going to do that? You hate Hollywood. You hate the fashion industry. How's that going to happen? I might do it tomorrow. But that was my letter to me. I'm like, hey, dumbass. Hey, dumb model. Because you're an idiot. This is not, you have to go back in the workbook. You're not allowed to talk to yourself like that. But you can in situations like this. I get it that you took so long because you weren't listening to yourself, and thank you for being, thank you for finally waking the hell up. And by the way, can you get on that fashion line because I want it, or so when you do this stuff, you'll find access in your brain to things you weren't expecting, is my point. And when you write a letter to you to actually forgive yourself for the time it took, like, hey, forgive yourself for spending all that wasted time on that knucklehead person that wasted your time. Why are you talking about yourself? So this is a great exercise. Dear warrior within me, thank you for waiting. Thank you for waiting patiently. Because if you do like a meditation of yourself, like think of like the you want, you to be. When I do it, I'm like, it's almost like Katniss from Hunger Games, mixed with like Black Widow in me, like the two swords and the leather and the freaking badass. And I'm like, and that person, that Angela, is a freaking badass, and I can do jujitsu while I ride a unicycle, Meanwhile, the other me is beating the hell up on myself because I personally come from self-mutilation, self-hatred. I never did the cutting, but I was the smacker. I would secretly like smack myself. And I'm telling you that because it resonates with many people because they're like, oh my God, I do that. Or you're drinking a bottle of wine, or you're whatever you're doing to stop yourself, to stunt yourself, to keep this in place. It's that's why this concept, like whatever you're doing to like, we're just not gonna look at this trauma. We're just gonna cover it up with lots of self-abuse and lies and relationships that are just like your daddy or just like your mama that are keeping you there. You know what I'm saying? So when you can look at the other the person that you want to be, right? That you're stepping into, write a letter to them. Hey, and I know I'm the same because I feel like, oh, brother, I'm going to skip this part because it's dumb. But it's not. It really is not. Like, get a journal. If journals make you roll your eyes, just do it in the workbook. Do it in a freaking piece of paper. Do it on your phone, even though it's much better to actually write. Like, it's the writing with a pen, because many have forgot how to do that. And work on your handwriting and actually, like, write it out. I will now allow you to express yourself by whatever it is. Like, I mean, what is it? Like, what drives, what turns you on? What drives you forward? For me personally, it's dancing like a wild lunatic. You haven't even seen nothing yet. Oh, very few people have witnessed that. But I start dance floors around the world. I'm the one. I will start a dance floor. Please dare me. Seeing a naked dance floor is one of my favorite things in the world. When I see a dance floor that's just sitting there, and if there's a live band, I am the one. Hey, good morning, Vietnam. How are you? So that is it's an exercise in the area of using your sword now to access, like, the warrior within you is to write a letter to that warrior. Yeah. Of sorry. Like, sorry it's taking me so long. Sorry I wasn't listening. Happy to see you. Hey, happy to see you too. Another healing technique it helps your brain. It helps a lot of things, is the way you're listening to love songs. So, like, I travel a lot. I've been to every state, down every highway, and I love listening to the radio in each area. And I'm telling you, you can tell a lot by what's on the radio. And what is on the radio, let me tell you, is pining for other people. That love pining, like, I want him, I don't have him, I wish I had him. I want her, I don't have her, I wish I had her. That love, 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 pining for the love. Alcohol, like songs about alcohol. I was drunk, I'm gonna get drunk, I'm not drunk anymore, I'm drunk right now, I'm gonna get drunk, I'm gonna, and God. But that's on the radio. Pining for other people, booze, and God. If you just pay attention, you're like, well, that's what. And also, if you start looking at like what's programmed on the radio, why is that? Why is that perpetuating pining for other people, booze, and then of course there's God in there. They're like, you're like, find you some God, because y'all are all drunk and y'all are all like dealing with pining for other people. And when here's a great way to like start switching that is when those like piney love songs come on, like, you know, you're the one I always wanted, you're the one I always wanted. If you will sing that song, any of them, pick any of them, sing it out loud to yourself as you know you to be. So as the God in you, as your warrior self, as God itself, like sing it as if you're, pick a word that doesn't make you hold a sign and get upset. Like, so sing it to you as God is singing to you, or that your warrior self is singing to you, and it helps change your brain and get away from those piney. So like pick something, like Whitney Houston, for example. That's a great one. Like, I will always love you, or some the cheesier the better. The cheesier better. Hey, Rondi. Or no, I can't see I can't. I'm looking at your comments, so I can't see the hearts. So I'm like, I love seeing the little hearts, but I can't see it now. I'm like, oh, that means you love me, or not. so so sing the song to yourself as your warrior self, and it fires off neural pathways. And then, P.S., you add on some regenerate, and you actually do work on your literal brain as well as the mindset. And dang, you're like, ching, you're like, tune in Tokyo. We are going to next level healing. It's so fun. And this is something I don't necessarily recommend when when you're walking around the gym, like you're singing it to yourself, or like you're in a car and you're like singing out loud to yourself, and you pull to a stop sign and you got your windows down. You pull some, and you see the other person. You're like, hey, what's up? I will always love you. Yeah, I will always love you. Like sing that instead of pining for the other person, the one that you never got, or the one that got away, or the one that you're heartbroken over at the moment, blah, 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 blah. Sing it to yourself as yourself. And that helps like change neural pathways real fast. You're welcome. It's a fun little way. I expect and want to see you singing the love songs to yourself. It would be wonderful, wonderful. So what gifts, talents, creativity do you have that need to be expressed? Yeah, go back to your little inner child, the ones that were, stolen from you, like our childhoods. Right? Am I right? So it's like, for me, it's crazy dancing. It's dancing. It's always dancing. It's always dancing. If I talk to myself in my journal, and if I write to myself, every single thing in my own personal life is dancing. So what is it for you? And you know what? What do I not do? Yeah. Now I could go beat myself up for that. But seriously, like, what do I not do? Dance. What is not on my schedule right now? Dance. What needs to be? Dance. Why aren't you dancing right now? Because I have a sword on my back. I'm talking to you. Listen. We're all getting there. I love you. Yes, I always try to share. Oh, you're the best. Now that the sword is no longer keeping you stunted, hopefully it's not, in pain and suffering, you can pick it up. That's the great thing about this concept too. If you look at your trauma, so like whatever you went through, life is an Excel spreadsheet, y'all. You go through all these traumas. You witnessed your parents, raising you as wolves. You've been through whatever trauma. You went through it as a child. You went through it as an adult. You went through it yesterday. Okay. You went through the pandemic, right? So it's like trauma. And speaking of pandemic, oh my God. So when you remove it, right, and that's tears and anger, you can see that the trauma, whatever happened to you, is not you. So the people that that are telling themselves that they are the victim, that they have a big neon sign on their face that is like victim, victim. That's because this is a magnet. When it's stuck in you, it's a magnet for repeated trauma. It is until you remove it. And then you start using it. And then you get to this phase. And this phase is also a magnet for magnificent things. It's awesome. So now you can also see that it's not you. So like whatever happened to you does not define you. It's just something that happened to you. It's not you are an incest survivor. Ooh, I have to be careful with my words. You are a it's not you are the victim of whatever happened to you. That's something that happened to you. It happened to you. Great, congratulations, kind of actually. You were a warrior because you were put through that so that you can do something great in the world. Is my not so humble opinion. Yes. Don't let us keep you from dancing. Oh, I will. I accept that challenge. I accept that challenge. And that is part of my intention too, like is to do this work, the next layer for myself, you know? And thank you for saying that. And what do you want to do with your sword? Like, cause your sword is your paintbrush, your whatever. Now it's going to be my unicycle. It's, your sword is your pen. So what do you want to do with it when you see that whatever happened to you is just something that happened to you? That's it. Congratulations. And like I said, life is an Excel spreadsheet. So you have all of these traumas. You will 100%. It's the ACEs study. You can go look it up. You're going to go to addictions. You're going to go to self-mutilation. You're going to go to repeated abuse. You're going to keep marrying your daddy or marrying your mama or being in like the guys that I work through or work through or work with, they'll have the crazy girlfriends repeated. Believe me, I've seen it. And we don't need to call them crazy. Let's call them poisoned because that's what's happening. And thank you, Jesus, for telling me that. And but they're on repeat. So like you got another one. Look, oh my God, there's another freaking poison girlfriend. Holy cow. So that's because you're repeating your trauma. You keep marrying your mama. And that's what's happening. And when you, just like an Excel spreadsheet, you have to change the equation. And the change in the equation, this is one way. It's like looking at like, oh, let me remove that. And then you have it. And so when you have it, you can see like, oh, okay, you just had a crazy ass mama who treated you like crap. You don't have to keep marrying her. You can switch your brain around and get on some regenerate for real, and then change your behavior. Done. Next, I will use my sword to do what, Angela? What are you going to do with your sword? What are you going to do with your sword? I'm going to actually do a show. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing a show where I incorporate all of this and I make you do it with me. Yeah, it's an interactive show. That's what I'm doing. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing with your sword? Are you complaining all day? Like, go back to step one. Go back to page one. I have the power to. You have the power to do what? Transform your whole life, live joyfully ever after, no matter what the hey you went through. And I am ready to put that down. I am ready to what? Like it goes back, the very beginning of this workbook says, okay, you ready? You want to elevate your life? What are you ready to receive? And what are you willing to give up? That's it. Or let go of. What do you give up or let go of? So what are you ready to receive? And what are you willing to give up? The answer to that riddle, just if you really want to dive deep, is everything and everything. Because if you're ready to receive everything, let go of everything. I mean, that's it. It's like go boldly into, you don't know what the hell, you don't know. Like, what if you had everything you ever wanted? It probably doesn't look anything like what you've been through. Because especially when you were raised by wolves, right? So if you're ready to receive living a beautiful, like fulfilled life, you're going to have to let go of the negative thought patterns in your brain that you're a piece of crap and you don't deserve it. Right? You see what I'm saying? And so all of this stuff is mindset stuff. It's all the stuff you can do in your head that nobody can see you doing, including beating yourself up. Like, so if you're spending all the time beating yourself up in your head and saying out loud, you're unworthy, everything, Jonathan, that's it. That's the answer to the riddle. But be very careful with that, my friend. Be very careful with that. Be ready for that, because everything it works. It's happened to me. I did literally lose everything, and I gained everything. And my best friend did it the first time. I used to have these women-only fire pit meetings, or full moon fires at my house in LA. And I had little sheets that I'm actually have them for free on my site. They're hard to find. I'm in the middle of redoing my whole site. Bear with me. Don't judge me, or judge me all you want, because you're judging yourself. What? Like, I'm going as fast as I can. But I've made a commitment to stop doing that, like the going super fast to try to help everybody, because I'm like calmly taking the steps to share the stuff I know as I'm living my own life. So that's where I'm at now. I've gotten rid of that whole furious full speed ahead, so that because I want to save the world, right? So I'm like, So I used to have these full moon women only parties, and we have this, and I love me some men, but the women need to be around the women, because they get weird around the men sometimes. So there's a sheet that's like, what are you ready to receive? And what are you willing to give up? And we would fill it out. We'd turn it over and fill out the whole back, And my best friend says, everything and everything. And I was like, oh, hell, girl, you just took. She takes it to the next level. We're at the next level now. And she lost everything. She lost everything. And she gained everything that month. The next month, I did it. I was like, girl, I mean, shit. Because usually when people fill this stuff out, it's usually love or money. It usually is love or money. My mom, by the way, P.S., was a psychic on the Psychic Network. Yeah, that happened. I have a whole show about that called Crystal Balls. Funny. So she was a psychic on the Psychic Network, and the calls that came in were either about love or money. That's it. It's like, and side note, story time with Angela. The biggest calls, the most common calls that came into the Psychic Network. Are you ready for this? What do you think they were? Who do you think was the most common person calling? I'll give you one guess, and you'll never get it. Throw it at me. What do you think it is? Come on. But who do you think is the most common person that's calling the Psychic Network? Just my mom used to tell me. What do you think? Come on, somebody, tell me. What do you think? Who do you think is the most common person calling? Prank callers? No, bounty hunters. Bounty hunters. Is that funny? Bounty hunters. Yeah, because I actually paid my mother when she was on that. I was like, Mom, I will pay you. Just write down every single call that comes in. I want to know who they are, where they're calling from, and what their question was and what you told them. So I actually have, it is gold, y'all. I have gold, and it is so funny. My favorite one was a guy in Ohio. He was 66, and he was real freaking out. And he called because he just got his psychic bill from the Psychic Network, and it was $900. And he needed to know the lotto numbers for that day so that he could pay his psychic bill. Yeah, that's funny. And then bounty hunters wanting to know where their bounty was. Is that funny? Shit, you can't make this stuff up. You never know what you're going to learn over here at Angela Shelton World. Bounty hunters are calling the Psychic Network. And then everybody else wants to know about love or money. Is that crazy? So it's like love or money. So everything and everything. So when you, it's so funny, isn't it? So when you lay down the fact of like, what are you ready to receive and what are you willing to give up? Most people are putting on there, unless you're a bounty hunter, most people are on there. It's love or money, right? So it's like, if you really want love, right? You're going to have to give up your addiction or whatever, your self-hatred. If you really want money, you're going to have to let go of your poverty consciousness. Or you could just say everything and everything. But go gently down that path, my friend, because it really does happen. And I legit did. I'll give you my number. You can prank call me whenever. No, I ain't nobody got time for that. And yeah, no, I am very. Right now at this stage I'm in my life, I am very, very protective of my time, as you should be. And for me, it's like, okay, you have to weigh value versus expense. Where is something so valuable in your life, and where is it expensive? Expensive with time, people that are like like energy vampires, that's expensive, right? And the value, you might have value of like sitting and talking with somebody for an hour, depending on who they are, might be far more valuable than the expense it just costs you for the time. For my example, my friend Sean Gilder, who is the one in Nashville who looks like Jesus. I mean, I'll sit with him and talk for hours. The difference is he and I have started to press record on it. So I'm on a lot of his podcasts. He's on my podcast. I'm helping him for many, many reasons, because he's helping people get better health wise. And, that is valuable. And the expense of the time and me driving to Nashville once a month, that's expensive, but the value outweighs the expense. Does that make sense? As I can attest to. Yes, Jerome came and rode bikes with me in Nashville. It's so freaking awesome. So it's like, that's also something to put in your brain. Value versus expense, like what you're eating, right? So it's like, okay, well, that what you're eating is going to make you cough or give you a headache or whatever. Is it the value? Does it outweigh the expense? So we can do all of this mindset. It really does work. All these letter writings and all this journaling. I'm the first one to be like, oh my God. I'm also the first one that rolls my eyes at any like new agey stuff and because I'll tell you why. Because I lived in LA for too long. I lived in LA for 20 something years. And behind the scenes, it was BS. So in the front of the scenes, people are like, oh my God, I'm so like connected. And like, we're here to be like, so like together and connected. And then you shut that off, right? Or the video goes off or the interview goes off or the class is over or whatever. And that person is, holy Lord, baby Jesus, out of their damn minds. It's like Ellen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and also you're like, you shut down that show and the cameras stop and it's like stark raving mad meanness. I don't play with that. Like, I'm one face. Like many people have many faces. They got the face for their friends, the face for their work, the face for their kids, the face for their lover, their face for the, you're just so you're just like DID all over the place. I am one face. Granted, I am funny and I can be fierce and all this stuff, but that's not different people. It's like I'm fully emotional and fully like connected to my full human, and I ain't playing. I am not playing in that whole like fake world. I actually have a movie that I wrote called Fake that I'll make one day that's totally about Hollywood, and I just like I ain't playing with that, which means sometimes I'm gonna sit on here and I'm gonna cry and I'm gonna get like so moved by something that I'm gonna show you my heart and like unzip myself and I'm gonna sit here and cry, or I'm gonna get really mad. I will get really mad at Screen Actors Guild. Let me tell you what a load of BS that is. Being that duplicitous is evil to my sensibilities. God, you throwing out some words today, kitty. I like it. Yes. My mom always said everything all the time. Seriously, everything and everything. So I invite you, like, what are you ready to receive and what are you willing to give up? Seriously, like if you're ready to receive that the trauma is like getting pierced with a sword. This is why I have a sword. Like, so, okay, many of us have been traumatized by many, many things. And I love it. Like Jackie over here on my YouTube, she and I have known each other for over 20 years and we've been advocates and, we've done the sign holding and we've done all that. And you can be, when people when you tell your story or like tell something that you've been through and other people are like, "Oh my God, you went through that?" And meanwhile, Jackie and I are like, "Well, that was only Tuesday. I mean, I didn't tell you about all the other stuff." Like, you know, especially trauma victims who have been through the childhood trauma will most likely, it's like life is an Excel spreadsheet. You're going to go into domestic violence and all and addictions and all kinds of other things, right? And it's like it all goes hand in hand until you change the equation. And it's like there's so many traumas we've been through. I mean, we all just went through one. It's called the pandemic, and we're about to do it again mid-September, end of September. Prepare yourselves because they're going to do it to us again. And don't even get me started about the freaking mosquitoes. Oh my God. I literally like, there are so many, it's organized perpetrators. Okay. It's organized perpetrators poisoning the peasants. It's like an alliteration. People, it's organized perpetrators poisoning peasants. Because this is a caste system. Anywho, look away, y'all. This is also why I'm doing this work for free. And so often now, even no matter where I'm at, even if I'm like at my friend's house in Virginia, I'm like, where am I right now? I'm in Virginia. And because I'm doing this because so that we help each other wake up and elevate and expand together and stop this whole devaluing of men and erasing women. Like, it's enough already. Just, it's not happening in my world. I ain't playing. I was a victim of reverse battered women syndrome. Yeah, same. Oh God, Mike, I know it well. Everything all at once is how I roll, except unpleasant things. I'll take everything all at once, except for that. That's not the definition of everything, but hey, I'm with you. Once chosen. What is this name? Once chosen, valid act above reproach. Now that is a username. Now that is a once chosen, valid act above reproach. Ta-da! I love it. So yeah, I work with many men. I've talked to many men, Mike, and I know very, very well that women are beating the hell out of their husbands or boyfriends or whoever, and getting away with it too. And then they'll call the cops, and then you'll go to jail. I know. I've seen it many, 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 many times, and it is some BS out there. It's some major BS out there. So I love how people call me. I can't talk to you, baby. I'm online, first of all, and you didn't have an appointment. So I have these workbooks on my site. You can get them. You can get these ones are on Amazon. There's a coloring book version too. It's all the same workbook. It's just different pictures. This one, it kind of looks like me when I was a little goth teen. And then at the end, she's happy. It's never too late to have a happy childhood. Swallow that pill. It's never too late to have a happy childhood. You is true and genuine. Oh, thank you, Jerome. I am, which also means, I'm also going to sometimes bawl my face off. You know what I mean? I'm sometimes walking to the room like, why is she crying? I'm like, because I'm fully exposed. That's a different website, y'all. I also do that. And by the way, that is intentional too, because I have and it's a trick. Everything I do is a little bit of a trick, not in a trick in a mean way, but a trick in a healing way. Like my boxing movie is not really a boxing movie. Just note to self, my boxing movie is not really a boxing movie. My golf movie, my golf comedy will make you cry. And my spicy is helping men get off of corn. So it's like, well, how does that make any sense? I know. Well, it works. That's why. Passing through comes by and says, yeah. So I am a total goddess, and I look damn good at 50, and I am fully exposed in order to help. And everything. Your sword is bigger than mine. Well, yes, my other thing is bigger than yours too, but it's okay, and it's prettier. I have them in my family. They told me this. This is so funny. You're super mellow this morning. Do you feel that? It's this. I haven't taken a dose of this yet because I haven't. I'm going to do it before I go driving, but I can get into why I'm so, yeah, I feel mellowed. You might hear my voice too. It's like I have a little bit of a in my voice, and my lymph nodes are a little puffy because I done ate a barbecue sandwich. I ate some of the bread. I'm not gonna lie, and I had a big old cone of chocolate peanut butter ice cream. Damn it! And I'm paying for it. I mean, you can do what you want in life, but you're gonna pay for it. So that's why I feel like I'm like, oh God, I feel a little sick. Damn it. Goes back to the value versus expense, right? So the expense of that was not worth did not have the value. Sometimes, no, it wasn't from a creamery. I was with my family and they're addicted to sugar. And I was with my little cousin. Have you seen him? The little cousin, my little cousin. He's 3, and dang it, he's so dang cute. And so like he'll just get me. I have no control. I was like, you can have anything you want. Damn it, little Robbie. Yeah, he's so cute. Oh, that's why you got. Yeah, I feel it. I feel because I ate. It's all about what you're eating, y'all. You know what? I'm gonna run out of my battery. You know what's gonna happen? My battery is gonna go down, and oh my God. Where's my little cord? I'm gonna have to do your joints hurt? How dare you? What do you mean? What are you saying? Do my joints hurt? Where are you getting at? No. No, my joints do not hurt. But I'm nervous a little bit because my TikTok is red. So let me get my cord. I swear to God, I had a cord, and I just bought a new cord. Here, look, get distracted. Hold on. Hi. This is Clyde Half-Ass. Have y'all seen Clyde Half-Ass? He's my baby. He represents all the men in their 20s who are in love with me. Ouch. He doesn't like anybody else but me. He will bite you, and he will go if somebody else is in the room. He's like, but he loves only me. You have a great day. It was great to see you tomorrow. I love you. All right. So let me sum y'all up, and then I'll go get my cord for TikTok, and I'll stay with you. All right. Hey, thank you, Stay. Where's my cord? Y'all, here it is. Here it is, y'all. Here it is. Give me that. Stop. Now I need to. All right. So to go back and look over what we talked about today is step 4, using your sort of trauma, is using the crap we've been through for the better. Like, okay, so yeah, we've been through trauma, and you got diddled by whomever, and it was god awful, and I apologize. I'm sorry for what you went through, but how are you using that to better yourself? Oh, we're going to get you plugged in, and to stop doing to yourself what the perpetrators did to you, right? Look, stop doing to yourself what the perpetrators did to you. How are you going to reach that court? Let me ask you something. Is this irritating as hell? I'm going to plug this in, right? I'm going to plug it in. Oh, and you know that one time when just hold on, ready? Take a deep breath. Oh, are you ready? You ready? Oh, good. Yay. Yay, we can stay. We can stay. Clyde Half-Ass, how are you with your sword, baby? Baby, tell my story despite being told it's not going anywhere. Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to be a drill sergeant. Okay, I really care about humans, and I do this work because I actually do care about humans. But when you are repeating that you are back where you were, that's my problem with 12 steps. When you say out loud every day that you're or whatever you were that you're not anymore, you're telling your brain that you're recreating it. So for you to say, it's not going anywhere, I'm unworthy, nobody loves me, ain't nobody love me, I guess I'll go eat worms. I'm gonna be a kind pain in the butt to tell you to shut up. Okay. Go listen to my song. If you go on YouTube, Angela Shelton, YouTube, Sword of Trauma, epic song. You're welcome. Just go listen to that and go listen to that song and stop writing it. You wrote down it's not going anywhere. Like step 1, you are bringing into your psyche and your existence what you're putting out. Everything and everything, y'all. So like rephrase that. So what was this? Telling my story despite being told it's not going anywhere. And that's not so bad. I'm using you as an example a little bit. So uh, but I have gotten many other messages that are like, I'm unworthy, nobody cares. Blah, blah, blah. There's actually a little bit in that song that's like, everybody hates me. I guess I'll go eat worms. Like you can be like that and then watch that what you're saying and thinking about yourself. It's just going to keep coming. You're going to be in another relationship with your abusive mama or daddy. And you're like, how'd I get here? I mean, you just brought it to yourself, and like a magnet, right? Like a magnet. Oh, I'm naturally healthy chocolate. I love you, Jerome. That's awesome. Jerome's chocolate. Yeah, you're magnetic. So like you are magnetically bringing things into you. So into your existence. So, and that's mindset 101. It's also prayer 101. Like it's all semantics, y'all. It's all the same thing. Like I was talking to my friend last night. She's like, I don't believe in God, but she believes in spirit. And I was like, it's all semantics. We're just, these words get you tripped up. It's energy. And if you'll sit in, yeah, exactly. Is it a magnet? Same thing when you start looking at your trauma like a sword, like this is a magnet for repeated trauma. Oh my gosh. You can just bring it to yourself. And then when you do it the other way, you can bring it to yourself that way, feel it, heal it, all of that stuff. It's like, what are you saying to yourself in your head? What are you saying to yourself in your head? And if it's, I'm a piece of crap, I'm unworthy, I ain't nobody to love me. I guess if they didn't get back to me, I guess that means I ain't worthy of nothing. It's like mindset and manifesting 101. Ow! It's also prayer 101. It's the same thing. Like prayer, it feels good actually. Thank you. God, let's make an appointment. Angela incorporates Clyde half-ass in her spicy link. I just got an idea, Clyde. That's really funny. You just gave me an idea, Clyde. You're nasty. Oh my God. See, like, okay, listen, you can judge and be mean to yourself all you want, right? You can. Or you can start switching that stuff. And it's hard. But it's easier done than said. It's easier done than said. What's Mexico? Wait, what? Be careful with that thing. What are you talking about? What's Mexico? He's getting my chin hairs, y'all. He's got one. He's got a chin hair. Hey, speaking of negative thought patterns in our head, I was in there last night, cleaning my face and whatever before I go to bed. I had one of the long, like it was like that long, white, growing out of my chin. I mean, my cheek. I mean, back in the day, that would be a perfect time to be like, you're nasty. You're nasty. So wait, Clyde, listen, so many of us have chin hairs. I will talk about it all day long. I think it's because I was on the pill when I was 16. We'll go in. I mean, what were you doing on the pill at 16? And I'm glad I'm not the only one with chin hairs. Yeah, seriously. I wish I didn't have them, but I've given up. Oh God. Story time? You want story time of like the negative thought patterns in your head? I was 15, 16, and I'm at the beach in San Diego. I lived in San Diego at the time. The movie But Tumbleweeds is about my life with my mom. That was my first movie. And so I'm at the beach with a hot ass boyfriend. Good God, he was so hot. I started young, y'all. I started young with the hot ones. And we're at the beach, right? He comes up. He's like, hey. Reaches up and literally, I'm not kidding, reaches over and pulls, and it like pulls my cheek. And you're seeing the ghost of me because I died. I died right there. You're seeing the ghost of me as this gorgeous man. He's like, what is it? What is it? And pulls it, like literally pulls it, and doesn't pull it out. Just pulls it, and it was like, I'm dead. You're seeing the ghost of me because I died. I'm laying there. I died right there on the beach. I'm dead, y'all. You're experiencing the ghost to me because I mean, I was way too young. How traumatic! I mean, seriously, call in the medics, y'all, because she's dead. She's dead right there, and so it goes into you have to actually, love all the parts, including the beard. I'm like, oh God, this is why I don't like short men. I only like taller men because the short men can see everything. Oh Lord, it's like I love winter. I love the fall. I love turtlenecks. That's really, and I love Clyde. See, I could just be like, hey, y'all, what's up? The worst is if you're in a meeting and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna sit here like this now. I'm just gonna sit here like this because I didn't see that one. Or like if you've pulled up at a parking spot and the light is really bright in the car when you pull down and you're like, oh my God. My daughter has excellent vision and she's brilliant. She's more brilliant than any of us. She's like, Mommy, you have 44 blockers. And I'm like, what? What? Oh my God. So much for hormones, taking hormones when you're young. Whew. Hey, speaking of sword, you know what I mean? You can literally you can live like that. You can be like, I could beat myself up for it. I could be like, oh, I'm disgusting. I'm horrible. I got to go take care of that. Or I can just take care of that. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God, I got a lot of masculine energy. For the fellas that love me, I'm like a motocross ride. It's going to be real. It's going to be really energetic. Lots of bumps. You better hold on. Oh my God. Oh, that's why I go out with men that are half my age. This is true. We need to normalize carrying tweezers in our purse or on the road. We need to normalize, I'll reach over and get yours if you get mine. Oh, God, love you. Okay, so how are you using your sword? Like scrape. Oh my God, I love it. Okay, so how do you use your sword? That is, step 4. We've begun. And tomorrow I will do more. But right now, I want to tell you about this. Ready? So my friend Sean Gilder is the one that looks like Jesus. He is the one in Nashville, theoneinnashville.com. I'm going to put all his stuff. It's already there, I believe, in my link in bio. I'll put it on my site. I actually at the bottom at the banner. If you go to angelashelton.com, he's at the bottom also, so that I can share him. This right here is powder gold. I'm actually going to Heather's house. If Heather's on here, I'm going to drive to her house and I'm going to give it to her. We'll go live again and do it together. Probably that's my plan. This is a combination of magnesiums and blood simulator stuff that will get GABA GABA into your brain really fast. What the hey is GABA GABA? Y'all listen. You can listen to him talk all day long. Sometimes I personally I go into like, it's like I'm in the Peanuts and you hear like rah, 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 rah. Because I'm like I'm like, those are some, you're talking a lot about some stuff and I like your hair, Lucky Heather, why are you not stopping in Raleigh? Because it's not, I'm already in Virginia. Let me do it next time. You better come to, P.S. September 21st. September 21st, you need to come to Nashville. Yes. Go to my Instagram and there's the invite and I'll send it in my email list and I'll share it with all of you. I am doing comedy. I'm doing comedy at the PhD conference September 21st. I am over the moon excited about it because I got fired from Notre Dame, from a big, huge speaking engagement from Notre Dame, because they saw a comedy cooking show I did where I showed women how to find their spots, their G spots on a turkey, because it was Thanksgiving and that turkey was dead and I was with my mama. But they saw that and they fired me. And I'm like, what the? And they sent me an official letter that said, hey, we hired you to speak about violence against women, not about women's sexuality. So your contract is, and I'm like, what? The two would go hand in hand, first of all. And second of all, that was a comedy show. And that's not, I was like, what the heck? And so I got fired from that. And then the pandemic happened and all this stuff. So my first one coming back into the gate is I'm doing comedy at the Happy Life Conference. What? I mean, life is so perfect. It's perfect. Rage Against the Man. You know what's so funny is it was women who fired me. It was not men. Yep. I have had more men in my life help me and help my cause, help my movies, help me, help my fund a whole bunch of crisis centers, helping me. It's been men. And that's also why I'm like, y'all, this whole devaluing of men and erasing of women is intentional to keep us separated. Keep them separated because we need each other. Whether it doesn't matter, it's not a matter of sex. It's a matter of unity. And if you are a power that be, if you are organized perpetrators with the intention of taking over everybody and your brains and your land and keeping you as peasants, you want to separate the unity, because that is power. Right? You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter who you're sleeping with. That doesn't matter. It's a matter of like community, unity. It's a bond. There's a reason that we have masculine and feminine. There's a reason women are being erased. There's a reason men are being devalued. And I have not even begun. I've been doing a bunch of my stuff with men for years now, privately, and I'm just now starting to like put it out in public, and I'm about to be full reveal because it's important. So PD, you are important. Can I ask you, do you believe in God? Do you? Yes. Well, this is Clyde. Hey, face. Is Sandra on here? Is Sandra on here today? Sandra is the mommy of Clyde Half-Ass. So because my TikTok friends get to name the puppets. That's how we roll. I think you like Rhonda. You're not gonna cheat on me, Rhonda. You just like her. Okay. You like her. Oh my God. Oh, I love me some Clyde. Sandra lost her doggy. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, I love it. So yeah, talk to Kitty, because it's really important that y'all, I appreciate and I love it when y'all talk to each other and you meet each other. That's also why I have my private group. That's also why I have events, so that you can meet each other, because I am Grand Connector. And an awesome connection that I made just this past week in Nashville was my friend Sean Gilder, who's the one in Nashville who looks like Jesus. I introduced him to my friend Michael Ricks, who is a singer-songwriter banjo. He's a black man with a banjo. He's awesome. If you will go to my Facebook page or his Facebook page, and I'll start sharing it on mine and I'll give it to Sean to share. They had a conversation together for about an hour and 20 minutes. Well, it was like, I mean, I was like, all I did was press record. I was like, yeah, I'll sit there and just have a conversation, and I'm going to record it. And it was just outstanding. I just love it. So you meet each other for a reason, and I am a connector. Yeah. Hey, Clyde. Oh, this is my baby. Because God gave us life. How do you know God? You value your gift and free will and life. Value your gifts because God gave it to you. Is that what you're saying, Kitty? It's We all need a Clyde. Did you get dinged maybe for saying these are messages that are coming up on because I'm on 3 different cameras, so they're like messages that are coming up. If we hurt our yes, exactly. So don't do to yourself. That's the key here. Here's the walk away. Don't or stop rather. Stop doing to yourself what the perp did to you. And that includes saying that you're unworthy, you're unlovable. Watch my documentary again. That was the Alcoholic Angela. Alcoholic Angela used to say, I'm lower than a dog. I'm lower than a dog. She said it every day. She would call me drunk. I'm lower than a dog. And it's like, that's exactly verbatim what her father would say to her. So stop doing to yourself what the perp did to you. And I appreciate you, Jerome and Jackie, who are like keeping YouTube alive. God bless you. Rah. I love it. I love it. Because TikTok's got like tons of people. It's all baby steps, y'all. It's baby steps. You were 38 and saw I was believing their lies. Yes, exactly. Instead of knowing I'm part of the divine. Yep. I recommend that you be fully selfish. Be selfish. Be selfish all the time. Be more selfish. Be selfish. Because self is connected to God and you are a divine spark of God. So to be more selfish is to be more connected to God. And I realize that those words have been hijacked and now people get out. Now people can, hear the word God and get all freaked out because so much has been hijacked and been brainwashed in the global brain intentionally to poison our brains, just like our food. I mean, this is not rocket science. So we are been poisoned. People are addicted to alcohol. People are addicted to meds. People are addicted to food, smoking, whatever. My friend Jesus has developed, this is called Regenerate, and it is a powder, and it gets GABA into your brain really, really fast. And you do flush. When I took this, I take a teaspoon, and I get hot, like in the first couple of minutes, you get like, you get like a rush of heat, and that goes away in a couple of minutes. And it has personally, I don't have any addictions to benzos and all that. I never took any of that stuff like Xanax. I'm not a proponent. I'm not a supporter of meds at all, but I have my own stuff. For me, I like them. And ever since taking this, I haven't. It's just like I lost my, not that I'm going to be like, I'm sober. I'm never doing anything again in my life. I'm just not, because I mean, if I'm in Italy, we're going to have a glass of Amarone. I don't have I'm not going to be like, I'm staunchly sober or whatever. But taking this has removed, like legit removed my desire for anything that's possibly stunted my brain. I mean, it's weird. It just like went away. Yeah, this is it, Jay. I have it. Bring me to Texas. Let's do this together. Like, this is gold. I mean, so far I've done 5 doses. My first dose, I took it, and believe me, I'm not even going to shut up about this. This is called Regenerate. It's on his site. I put it on my link in bio because who cares? It goes to him. I don't care. I am actually working. After I did this, y'all, I made a commitment. I was like, okay, I'm bringing all the contacts I have for my movies, all the access that I have for like website stuff and email marketing, and I've done that stuff for years. I know it like the back of my hand, even though I don't want to do it half the time. But it's full tilt boogie now. I'm giving Sean everything I have, every contact, everything I know that I've learned over the years is going to that man so that more people can get this. Because and P.S. I'm gonna set him up in the back to have affiliates. And I'm going to be the first one because y'all, I will, this right here, this. I took 1 dose, my first dose, and he's right. It does make, and he was watching me. He's like, how you feel? And I filmed it all, and I haven't shared it yet because I wanted to make sure his back end is all right. So now you can order it. You can order it on his site. He'll also do custom for you so that like, if you had this and you took it and you're like, ooh, I really like the clarity, but I want more like sleepy stuff in it. Or you want more like me, I wouldn't want sleepy, I'd want more energy stuff. So he'll make a custom for you now too. Holy shit. Right here. I took my first one and I did flush and I got this wave of red. Like I turned red and it was kind of itchy for about 5 minutes. And then about 30 minutes in, I had this unbelievable desire to cry. That was me. Like, and apparently I was holding on to some stuff. And I was like, I feel like I have to cry. And he said, well, just, bye, cry. And so I went and cried. I cried. And then I took another it was just like, I just can't even tell you that it affects everybody differently. Cause I'm, like I said, I'm not a benzo addict, because benzo addicts, like, this will help you get off of it. This will help you get off of alcohol addiction. If you choose to keep drinking, this will get over a hangover. Like, you just take one little thing, and you need a fourth amount for smaller sales. Yeah. I'm going to mention that to him right now. He's doing this because about a month's worth. This is about a month's worth if you took it every day. That will, like, you're done now. Like, for $220, get over your addiction to alcohol. Like, no shit. Like, I've seen it with my own eyes with many other people, and I don't have that problem. So I was like, but I was like, this is going to help trauma survivors. If it's helping the addicts, it will also help trauma survivors. And gosh darn it, am I right? Because I sat there, and other people don't have this experience. It was me. I literally sat there and cried. I cried all night. And now I'm fine. I'm good. But I was like, whoa, that just triggered something in my brain. It went to my brain, and all of a sudden I was like, I have to cry. And I cried. And God gave each of us talents for specific purposes. Oh, that's how I use my talents. Yes. Thank you. I was wondering if there's an ingredient list. I would like to run it by my doctor. It is on the site, and also it's his concoction. So I don't know if he's going to give it away, but yes, it's all stuff. It's niacin. And I'm going to ask him what we can add to there. It's basically a whole bunch of magnesiums. It's GABA, it's a blood stimulators, and NAC and niacin, and it's the combination and the amounts that is his concoction. And holy Jesus Lord, like, holy Jesus Lord, holy Jesus Lord. One thing I've noticed is I cry more on alcohol than I do when I'm sober. Yeah, because watch his videos. You're using the alcohol as a fake GABA. Like the GABA stuff, or the GABA, yo GABA, feeds your brain. The alcohol poisons your brain. But the alcohol does the same thing. Like, it removes your frontal cortex, where your inner critic. So when you booze, your inner critic of, like, your self-hater that you have will go away for a minute, but it's a trick. This gives you the stuff that gets rid of the inner critic, but it's actually healing brain food. And then suddenly you're like, that's weird. I don't want to drink. Me, I was like, that's weird. I don't want to smoke. Because, I mean, I smoke with my mom. That's full disclosure right there. And I was like, I just have no desire. I was like, that's weird. I have this no desire. No, I'm not going to take his product. I just want to make sure it's safe. It's safe. Why would, and also, like, asking an allopathic doctor, that would be interesting. But yeah, there is a list, and it's listed on there. It's not listed like the ingredients of, like, what's in it. I will get that from him and help him, because I'm helping with his sites and stuff. Take his proprietary ingredients. Yeah, exactly. It's like it's tricky, right? You don't want to show the concoction, because that's why he's a master with the combination of everything. So I'll get that list, but it's magnesium, obviously GABA, blood simulators, and niacin and NAC. And that's what on his list. And because I've seen him make it, he's got it looks like he's in a laboratory. He's a mad scientist with his long hair. It's pretty awesome. And now he will make custom ones. So, because I personally I like that clarity. I like it's like, it feels like it's high without being high. And so I was like, I like that. And then he can add more where it make you go to sleep too. You can raise GABA naturally by doing research on that. For sure. You can take GABA, and it'll take you months to get it to your brain, weeks rather, sometimes months. This goes fast. This makes it go shoo. I seriously doubt that, but that's a question for him. You know what? Go over to his site, the one in Nashville.com, and his TikTok. I said, because I shared a video yesterday, and he's got like 100 and something thousand. Like, obviously people need this stuff. So, uh, and I told him, I was like, yo, you better get on there and like start answering your comments and stuff. So he's going to do that, and he's going to go live, I hope, today. And so ask away, ask away. And I'm in the background helping on his network. So his private network, the one that's like my Mighty Networks, because I have one. I have a Mighty Networks for my Rockstar Reformers. Mine's not free. His is free. And in the background, it's me in there. So I'm helping him because you think I'm busy. That guy is like busy as hell. So I stepped in and I was like, what can I take off your plate? How can I help you help more people? Because I'm doing for him what I wish other people would do for me. So, hey girl, you got a lot on your plate. Where can I help you? Instead, it's like, and he's so calm. Yeah, he's so calm. Well, he does. I've been watching this guy for years now. He's one of the many men that I've been watching because I decided to start watching men who got their shit together, who are amazing, who got their bodies on, their relationship, their finances, their businesses, and their bodies. And they look good. They're like there's somebody you'd be like, yeah. So there's quite a few of those guys that I have befriended and I follow. He's my favorite. He's become a really good friend of mine. And I've been just watching, like, what are you doing? What are y'all doing? What are you eating? And how are you spending your time? What are you putting in your mouth? And how are you spending your time? And he really does. He's the legit real deal. He really does it. He will not. He didn't tell me this. This is just me actually like monitoring him like a scientific experiment. He spends 3 to 6 hours on his body, mind, spirit maintenance, and also gets the businesses done, rides bikes, makes this amazing stuff. It goes on dates. Like you're like, what? How? And how'd you do that? So that's where I've been. And like, how'd you do that? And he's not the only one. I also followed many others. He just happens to be my favorite. And they have a similarity. And they're doing yoga. They're drinking raw milk. They're eating grass-fed meat and liver. They eat liver. And you can take the liver pill instead of eating liver. And they're meditating. They're meditating. They're doing body, mind, spirit maintenance. And the difference between me, I don't know if this is for you, the difference between me and them is theirs is non-negotiable. That's the difference. The men. That's why I like the men, because they're like their practice for themselves is hard line, non-negotiable. And I'm like, wow, how'd you do that? Because mine, I don't know if you resonate with that at all, but mine has totally been negotiable. It's been like, oh, I'll just run myself over and protect and look after everybody else and not myself. And that's changed for me. That's also why I'm harsher now, not in a mean way, but I mean, I hope not. I don't mean to be mean, but I'm very harsh with my time. I'm like, hard lined. It is value versus expense. Is it expensive for my time or is it valuable for my time? Like my private time is not available. Like I have very, very limited people that I actually spend my actual time with. And part of my time, part of my 3 to 6 hours a day, 3 minimum, I don't want to say maximum 6, but I've noticed that these guys do that. And that's like, an hour in the morning, hour at night, 30 minutes in the day, however you split that up. For me, it's been like, we've now been an hour and a half now. So, and that applies to my own body, mind, spirit maintenance. And you've been a part of it. That's because and I'm a multitasker. So I was like, how can I do that and get all this other stuff done? I can layer it up. I can, like Jerome came to Nashville and we went on a bike ride, and that was 2 hours, and I got to communicate and bond with others and like and share awesomeness together, and we had fun. So that was like, you layered up those 2 hours, right, Jerome? That was like, it was fun, it was funny, and I was on Regenerate, so it was like another like layer. So it was like, layer it up, y'all, layer it up. And now I'm gonna go spend an hour with my dear friend Claire, who I've known for freaking 20. She's like you, Jackie. I've known Claire. I'm at Claire Kaplan's house. So like we've known her forever. I'm gonna go eat some Wagyu beef and some of her peppers that she grew in her garden. We're gonna have a conversation about a script that she wrote, and then I'm gonna drive to Heather's house. Well, shit, howdy. Needs are non-negotiable. Wants are irrelevant. What vegetables do they eat? Not much. Not many. If they grew them themselves, they do. Because the craziest thing is you think of like all the vegetables, and I used to do this. I'm like, I'm gonna eat vegetables. But if you look at how Monsanto has taken over our earth, you eat a vegetable and you're literally putting pesticide poison in your mouth. So unless it's actually organic, not labeled organic, because that's a trick too sometimes. Like you're like, wait, it said organic. And then I think like the good old Bush back in the day, like that was tricky of like, what exactly is organic? And that it gets tricky. It's like you're putting poison in your body. What is the meaning behind the tattoo on your arm? Which one? This one? This one. This is my sword that I talk about all the time. And I put it to where the handle is facing somebody, and I put it on this arm, so it's not just available to be seen, so that I can start conversations about the sword. 12 is a spiritual experience I had in the deserts of New Mexico that led me to Kundalini awakening and an orgasm with God. And that's the 12. The sword is so that I can start conversations. The crown this is actually the Joan of Arc sword. This is the symbol of the Joan of Arc. The crown, I was crowned in Greece. I have 3 crowns and a sword. I got them in Greece for my humanitarian work. And this is to symbolize the chakras. And this is going to go up in a sleeve. I have a whole sleeve this is my daughter. It's a photograph of my daughter sitting in a aerial dancing ring. And this will be the sun and also a portal to another universe. Then I'm doing, I always mess up with saying it, metrodon. How do you say it? It's not a Metrodon, the Archangel Metrodon. I'm doing this here. And then it'll be the tree of life. It'll come down with roots, and it'll frame the sword. And then it'll come down to one seed, which is the eyeball. It's a whole plan. But it's a story. It's a story of my spiritual awakening. And this is my kid. And, she's at the center of it. The girl in front of the circle. Yep, that's my kid. That's my little one, my little munchkin, who's freaking smarter than all of us put together. God, I'm very blessed to have been her mother, because man, when that kid was born, there was 4 rainbows. There was 2 double rainbows. There was 4 rainbows outside the window. And I was like, damn. I was like, that YouTube or TikTok or wherever it was like, there's a double rainbow. There's a double rainbow. She had 2 double rainbows. Yeah, she's a next level, that kid. Me as her mom is more like, oh, so what do we do now, boss? Like, what do you do now? This is her. She's like, Mommy, you keep getting suspended and everything. Speak in parables with puppets. Yeah, that's my child. I was like, yes, boss. Whatever you want, boss. I'm on it, boss. I don't actually tell her boss, because I'm actually her mother. And I'm like, please clean your butt and wash your hair and eat well. I mean, for God's sakes. So, yeah, so it's a whole plan. That's my plan. But then the whole thing, I've been hanging out with Jesus, with Sean, and he tells me that it goes into the ink, goes into your lymphatic system, and he's super anti-tattoos. And a part of me is like, I'm 50. Listen, I don't care. I'm going to do it slow. I'll slowly introduce some things into my lymph nodes because I want it. And I'm 50, and I can kick, and I can stretch. I love seeing double rainbows. Yeah, only tattoo I have is angel wings on my back. Got my dad's ashes put in the ink. Whoa, that's wild. And thank you, Julian. That's gonna be that's my goal. And also for the however you say it, Metatron. Metatron. You know what I'm talking about? The symbol. It's you can look at it and have a little spiritual awakening. Like it could be a portal. And so I'm gonna have that done that's going to be the special ones, and facing out, not totally to the side, but to the out, so that as I'm talking to you, you could look at this and be like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's my plan. Tell everyone he's got my back. That's cool. That's really awesome. So girl, okay, hold on. Kitty, did you see that? Kitty Stay has her dad's ashes tattooed into her back so that he's got her back. So if ever there was anything that's a reminder for you to stop with the negative thought patterns, stop writing them down and stop saying them. because you got your dad on your back with wings. So I'm done. I'm done listening to any kind of negative thought patterns coming out of your mouth because you got your dad on your back. So harsh sergeant right there. You're welcome. You got your dad on your back. That's freaking cool as hell. That's awesome. I love all y'all. I'll see you tomorrow. I hope this was helpful. If anything resonates, especially, please let me know, which was like, oh, I like that part. I like that part. I didn't like that part. Well, you know what? Bye. I'm going to close out YouTube.